All right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode, episode 3 of Jezebel's A Deadlock podcast for noobs by noobs. I am joined here with my wonderful co-host, Jarek. Say hi, Jarek.
Hello, welcome everybody.
I am also joined by Arcanum and featuring special guest, SabSquab. Say hi.
How we doing, everybody?
Hello.
All right, Jarek, would you like to take us away?
Yeah, so for this episode of Jezebel's, I have an outline written up. Let's see, we're going to start off with talking about what we're thinking about the new rank system. Just for a brief overview, we're going to talk about how we feel about the requirements to play ranked, the 60 wins overall and 15 wins on 3 different heroes at least. What we think about the solo/duo queue system. Now that the placements are most likely done for most people, how do the ranked games feel? Do they feel more or less balanced? What do we want to see iterated on for the future of the ranked system, and how grindy do we want it to be? How much, basically over 50%, do we want you to have to beat to climb? But yeah, I can either give it back to you, Nobel. I can go with my thoughts first. Whatever we're thinking.
All right, I think I'll let you take it away. I don't know, you seem to be pretty in tune with this.
Well, thank you. So since the ranked changes, I made the poor decision to play a bunch of my ranked placement matches after like a 7-hour day of already streaming, so I didn't win very many. I placed low, and grinding up has been interesting. I've played not as many ranked matches as I probably should, but the matches overall have felt fairly balanced. It's not quite as stomp or be stomped as it was before the matchmaking update. And as far as like how I'm feeling about the requirements to play ranked, I play this game more than most. I probably play this game more even than a lot of streamers, just because I spend so much time on the game. I have about 2,000 hours since September of last year, so that if that kind of puts it in perspective for you. But so when the ranked update dropped, I was already qualified to play ranked with like 8 different heroes. So for me, the ranked requirements didn't affect my experience with the game at all. I already had the ranks all unlocked. I was ready to go. But I'm interested to see kind of, I am probably on the lower end of the ranked scale between the 4 of us. So I'm interested to see kind of what you guys as higher ranks have to say about it as well.
I placed an Oracle 4, and honestly, my opinion on the matchmaking update is that really right now, I feel like high elo matchmaking has kind of been a lot worse than low elo matchmaking. I know I've shared the same sentiment with Pelican when I've talked with him off stream, that really our games feel a lot more heavy towards one team, especially with moving so much of the community into kind of one concentrated area between Ritualist and Oracle. It really has led to a lot of kind of one-sided games where really it is stomp or be stomped, and I feel like when I play standards, I usually have a better match quality than in ranked. Again, it could be a skill issue. I haven't been playing too well in a lot of my games. I went 3 and 5 in my placements and still somehow got Oracle 4. But it's definitely been a lot of fight to climb the ranks, and it's definitely been a struggle kind of being hard stuck, especially with knowing that on average, me and Pelican both consistently play better than what rank we're in right now. But honestly, with the whole matchmaking system update, I feel like what they should have done instead is compress the lower ranks into that category of kind of one rank instead of the higher end, because now it seems like all of the higher end players are stuck together, kind of being hard stuck and kind of keeping each other down, whereas I feel like the better players in lower elo would have had an easier time climbing out and kind of alleviating that frustration of kind of being hard stuck in ranked.
Yeah, and that's something Arcanum or Sab, if you guys want to take over, that I think I've had discussions, or I've heard discussions around a hard reset of the rank system versus a soft reset, which is what we got. So with a hard reset, it's just a mess for like a week. Everybody's all crammed in the same ranks together, and it's disgusting. But with a soft reset, it just makes it that much more difficult to climb, because half the players, half the top players are going against half the top players, and only half can rise at one time versus, another. So it's a whole jumbled mess for a while. But Arcanum, if you want to take it away, Sab, either one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I definitely agree with Noble in terms of like I'm at like the tail bottom of that sort of range that Nobel talked about. I'm right at Ritualist 6. I'm trying to get that grind in to hit Emissary. And I was a previous Oracle Phantom player before the sort of rank reset, just for context. And I do think that matchmaking right now is a little bit of a hodgepodge where I will either get a teammate. I will get a team where everyone is responsive, everyone knows what they're doing, they know about positions, they know about counter items, and I usually end up winning those, or at least it seems. And then I'll get some games where people are completely silent, or they're playing Wraith and they're running to every single fight. They don't really seem to know or understand what they're doing. And I think a big product of that is the difficulty in losing rank. I think unlike Valve's previous matchmaking and ranking systems, this one's a little unique, where the cycle is made around having you place lower and then climbing your way back up. And maybe the grind in that case is sort of tied to expectations, because this is a beta season, right? So the time length is a big factor on everyone's mind. Everyone only has until October. We've got like a month and some change here for everyone to get to where they think they should be. And that's creating an artificial sense of a grind, where if the season was like 6 to 9 months, you probably wouldn't sweat it as much. And maybe that's making it seem like it's too slow. But I do think a lot of people are getting stuck at ranks higher than where they should be, because you have to lose like 3 games in a row and then lose a 4th game in a row to even drop out of the potential of just getting back to right where you were.
I currently I placed extremely low. I placed in an Acolyte. I round up to bronze 1 so that I could play with my partner, because they placed in like Mystic somewhere. And I currently have in Mystic 1, and they give you extra shields when you're at the floor of a rank so that you definitely won't go down. I have 5. So if I want to, I have to lose 6 games in a row.
It's a lot of games.
In order, like you would think you would be smart enough to be like, maybe maybe I should quit for the day.
And the crazy thing is that even if you were to lose 6 games and drop down to that lower rank, it's going to put you 300 points away from ranking back up again. So you'd have to lose an 8th game to even be out of the running. So as long as you're going 1-7 when you're at the bottom of a tier rank, you'll go right back to where you were with all your shields replenished. So people can fail their way upwards with like a sub 50% win rate. And I think that at the core of it is what's causing a lot of frustration. Because, I'm not one who likes to blame my team, but I feel like in a few situations I've experienced increasingly more recently, it's kind of hard not to pin it on someone just kind of trying their best but running it down in the process.
I have a clip from a recent stream. I think it was a ranked game of me almost getting murdered by an Abrams, parrying a Lash and an Abrams, getting them both down to 1, and my Billy's standing right next to me. I run out of the building and survive with like 50 health, and he doesn't kill either one of them. So yeah, it's just kind of like, what can you do in those situations?
Not really much. Yeah, I do agree with Arcanum here about the ranked shield problem. I mean, just speaking about yesterday's stream, I had a super secret late night Deadlock stream last night. I think I ran it until like 2:30 in the morning, super late.
Did you actually?
Yeah, and it was with Pelican, and I think we ended up going 3-5 in our games, and we ended up right back where we started. Right exactly where we began the night. And to think that you could end up right back where you left off after losing more games than you had won is kind of crazy to me.
After going sub 50, that's insane.
Yeah, like it was kind of crazy. So if you have any opinions on the rank shield problem, or really just the ranks in general, we'd love to hear them.
I'm gonna be real. I think the ranked shields thing they've added is maybe the best thing they've ever done.
Really?
Yep. And the reason why is because you can't derank randomly anymore with the points and the shield. I had a stream where I went. I streamed from Archon, I'll say 3 or 4 start. Think Archon 4 start. And all I had to do was hit Oracle 1 and I could end stream. This took 40 straight hours of streaming. Because
Jesus.
you would have to win 4 games with my MMR might have been cooked because I started my account like initiate 1. I was really bad.
Yeah,
But
me too.
basically, you would have to win like 4 or 5 games to go up, and then you would lose like maybe once or twice, and you would D rank. So I
Yeah.
think having the shields there and having the points makes it so that if you D rank, there's like no way you can say, "Oh, my team sucks," because you have to lose all your points and you have to lose the shield. So like either you're actually getting like the worst teammates ever, or like you lost like a game or two because you didn't play like the greatest.
Yeah, I can definitely understand it being a skill issue.
Yeah.
But also, just to counter that argument, I had a paradox in one of my games the other day that rushed glass cannon at 16 minutes and had 0 green items and just proceeded to run it down, trying to one-shot the enemy rem, and it was pretty funny.
Okay.
It was pretty funny to watch, but also, bro might have been made out of paper mache. So,
I mean, if you don't laugh, you'll cry in those situations.
oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I was crying in that situation because I was just like, "Why, Yoshi? Why did you banish me to Elo hell?" But
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it's I always kind of like to laugh at those moments, even though Pelican tells me, "No, Bell, don't crash out, bro. Don't crash out, bro. It's okay. It's fine." But it's always just a good time. But yeah, I've been trying to definitely like work on getting a better mental with ranked because I definitely understand that with
tough.
me being in that hodgepodge of like between Phantom and Ascendant and Eternus players, it's like I'm definitely gonna sometimes get the low end players, and just gotta understand that.
Ironically, Noble, what you said to me about like a week or so back is kind of like been like my little totem against like bad mental, which is the win streak will come.
Yeah, it will come.
If you keep playing,
true.
you will find it.
Yep.
It's just a matter of time. So like
100%.
you just gotta tough it out between what you're going through right now and you'll get it all back.
Yeah.
I think
you may go 2 and
maybe
5
that
one day. You're
feeds
gonna go 1 and 9.
Back into
Sorry,
the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I think we covered a lot of the early ranked. What are we thinking about the solo and duo queue only system? So for me, a big part of this game has been 6 stacking with friends. I mean, Nobel, Arcanum can both attest. You know, that's a lot of what my community is and does. Is just, you know, we get a bunch of people together, we get the squad, and we go, you know, run it down in a 6 stack, and it's fun. We may not always win, but it's fun. And that is, you know, that's the point of playing video games. You know, if you are not playing for fun, what are you playing for? I mean, obviously there is to grind at the very top ranks, but even in the end, you still have to play the game to have some kind of fun, you know? But yeah, I don't know who wants to start off. Nobel, if you want to start it off, and then we'll pass it to Arcanum, and then Sab, we'll just kind of get an order going.
Yeah, I'll take it from here. Honestly, I don't like the solo duo system. For a game like Deadlock, in League it works because of the much more isolated nature of the game. But seeing as every single lane is a 2 versus 2 versus 2 instead of a 1v1v1 or 1v1v2v2, and then the jungle, it kind of makes it so there's a lot more cooperation needed. And honestly, I enjoy playing in those bigger parties where I have more access to better communication, especially because my randoms, for some reason, I think all lost their mics.
Yes.
But yeah, like I would like to see bigger party sizes, but I would like to see the matchmaker be more adjusted to, say I'm playing in a 3 stack, say it was me, you, and Arcanum, and then Sab queued was queuing in general. It would be like, okay, let me take another 3 stack and let me take another solo queue player, and then let me take maybe a duo, and that makes 6 players. So that way we have all of these players together against basically like the same kind of lobby size, so about the same level of coordination that could be expected. And at that point, it's up to the team to communicate amongst each other, between lanes and stuff like that, even if they're in separate Discord calls. But I definitely think it would be a lot better to kind of open that up, especially since ranked is in such an early state right now. this feels really, really competitive for something that's in its first iteration. I understand that Valve likes to kind of throw the javelin as far as possible and then kind of reel it back in as they kind of go through
for power.
iterations. But I feel like I would definitely like to see a little bit more bigger queue sizes, because I do enjoy playing with more people, and I think it's more fun than just solo or duo queuing. Because solo queuing Deadlock ranked, let me tell you, you need to be a very special kind of person. You need to be a saint to play Deadlock solo queue and not crash out.
I'm a fairly patient person. It has tested me at times. Before Goblin, my partner, my duo, had placed, I was doing a lot of solo queue, and it was an experience. But yeah, Arcanum, if you want to go with how you're feeling about it, is it too restrictive? Is it not restrictive enough?
It's a little bit of a mixed bag for me, because Jarek, everything that you sort of mentioned about, like, the fun of larger group sizes, and I think casual is exactly the place for that.
Yes.
Just to sort of bring it also back to the shields for a little bit, the whole point of shields and the restrictive queuing system is to counteract boosting and smurfing. I have the benefit of hindsight when it comes to how Valve treats matchmaking, because I played Dota 2 for about a decade. And a very huge problem with Dota 2 across the years has been the multitude of smurfs. And the reason that it's become an issue is because in Dota 2, it works on a strict plus 25, minus 25 MMR based on whether or not you win or lose. So no matter how many games happen, the amount of total MMR in the pool across all players stays the same. The only time new MMR gets added to the pool is when somebody creates a new account. And Smurfs will create an account, add a very small amount of points, and then they will hoover up all the points from everybody that they're beating, because they're in a rank that's like way lower than where they should be. And then once they've ballooned up with a bunch of points, they will not play the account anymore. And it's basically like in an offshore bank account. It's no longer part of the system, and now there's less points overall to sort of be tossed around. The whole point of the shield system is that it prevents loss. So, like, the other team gains points, but you don't lose any because you lost a shield instead. So as a result, MMR points have been added, and that's kind of like a trickle effect that's used to counteract inevitable smurfing. And similarly, for this queue system with no more than 2, is to counteract boosting, and especially with the rank restriction as well. I'm a fan of this as it is right now. Mostly because it does reinforce the need of your personal skill expression. You can't just queue up with, because let's be honest, talking to your teammates is OP in this game. Using the microphone, it dramatically increases your chance of win, as long as you're using it effectively.
Yeah, if you get a team with 6 mics,
You're
and they know
fun.
how to use them well, it's it's over.
Oh yeah.
So sort of like as a result, to welcome in those parties creates a huge disparity. Teams of equal skill, but one is a 6-stack and one is all solo queue, will dramatically affect the outcome in a way I don't think is intended. And this is fine. Oh no, you're all good. This is fine. I don't mind larger party queues coming to ranked, but it needs to implement a system. I think they just, because the game is still in active development, they just haven't devoted the time and resources to it yet. And something I think we'll see down the line is, like, if you queue up with a 4-stack, you are going to get placed against another 4-stack.
Yeah.
I think that's more of a symptom of community size currently. I mean, I'm sure they'll add something similar to that eventually. One of the things I was going to say is that I've seen some people talk about, like, the lower rank you are, the less restrictive the rank system should be. Like, if everybody's in, like, Initiate or what is it, Seeker, right above Initiate, if they're all there, let them 6-stack. It's not gonna,
I think the rank restriction will absolutely relax with time.
Yeah.
They said that it was going to. They said we're starting off like basically as restrictive as it can be.
Right.
Essentially. Yep. The only way they could have made it more restrictive is solo queue only.
That would have been hell. That would have been hellish.
That would have been that.
Yoshi banishing me to the depths of Elo hell with that one.
Right? Brutal.
Sad, what do you think?
But yeah.
In terms of the solo duo system, I think it's like a net good thing. I think, and I'm a little League brained on this because I played League before Deadlock. I think what they should do is in future implement a completely separate game mode with a separate like whole rank and like division and stuff like that. Strictly for like 3+ players
So flex queue.
in that stack. Yeah. I think it's like I think you should let your solo and duo MMR be different to your like flex queue MMR. But I think they for sure haven't done it because they have a limited player size and it's split between like I think what 4 main game mode, Street Brawl standard, ranked, and then like anybody in co-op versus AI, which people actually do play. I know people who play like mostly versus AI.
I
I'm
forgot
not
that
gonna
there was
lie.
a co-op versus AI mode. Me
Yeah.
and my partner did
Yeah.
that a lot when we were first starting, just to like test out new characters and in just like a no stress environment. It's great.
There's for sure a community of people who just love versus AI because it's so simple.
I didn't
So
even
it's like
know
I think
that.
if they did add a flex queue, I think the queue times would be disastrous.
Yeah.
As is, I think I agree with the solo/duo.
I don't know. I honestly think that they should open up the party sizes to be a bit bigger. Even if it meant a little bit more of a smurfing issue, because I just think that since Deadlock is such a cooperative game, restricting it to kind of solo duo queue kind of defeats the purpose of what makes Deadlock such a versatile MOBA, comparatively to its peers. Because the addition of that 6-player, which a lot of MOBAs are usually 5v5, just kind of allows it to have this kind of whole new identity and this whole new playstyle. And I feel like kind of restricting it to solo duo queue only instead of having those bigger party sizes. It's kind of like if I took like a co-op game that I had, and it was say it was like a 3-player co-op game, and then there was this other co-op game that was 4 players, but you couldn't queue up with like 3-player. Like if you had a party of 3 players and you couldn't allow a solo queue in, it kind of just defeats the whole purpose of like why not just play the 5v5 MOBA instead of the 6v6 MOBA? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they could increase the party size. I actually don't think I'd mind maybe like a solo duo trio system, but it's just I don't know if I'd want to be queuing solo or duo with a 4-stack just for some reason. If you get like a toxic 4-stack and they don't like you, do you not have like 4 people on your team who are like all just in a call with their buddies, like each other on? It's like they're not gonna help you or like take your calls seriously at that point, and it's like over. If they just like flat dislike you.
Yeah, I know League has a system in place where you can't queue up with 4 like majority of the lobby, like about 4 players in flex queue. You can't queue up with
their
4.
flex. Yeah, you can't
you
queue
cannot
with
queue.
4 people. You can do 3
I
or
feel
5.
like I think that Deadlock should
sense.
implement that 3-player system, but just stop it from like I would just like to see one more player added to the party. I feel like it'd make it a lot better. And that way, even if you have a majority of the team, the team is just split right down the middle. It's not a set majority of the team composition that is in one Discord call bullying the solo or poor duo queue that is unfortunate enough to get them. And I think that would actually help out a lot, just kind of dividing it right down the middle. I think that would be a good compromise.
I think a major reason that it has started so restrictive is that Deadlock, unlike Dota or League, has all heroes have much bigger snowball potential. If a hero like a Yamato or even like a Wraith, who's normally relegated to a late game carry, starts getting a significant soul lead of 10 or more K, they run away with the game. They are immediately ready to fight. They do not follow the normal conventions of a carry in a MOBA, and I think that might be baked into why it's so restrictive. Because let's say Jarek, Noble, and I queue up for a game. Noble's playing with Eternus level players. I'm playing like a good couple of tiers under that, and then Jarek I think is. Yeah, Jarek's like
Jarek's a blueberry.
And the idea of like putting Jarek's like Victor, who has a notoriously terrible laning step, against the enemy Yamato, who is playing at an Eternus level, they're gonna run away with the game, and they're gonna start retroactively hunting every single person across the map, and then the game's over in 25 minutes because one player ran away with the game. And I think. That's the sort of reason that I think they're trying to remain as restrictive as they are, because just unlike other MOBAs, Deadlock, like one player can become the star player just with like a couple lucky happenstances.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. That's why instead of like, I do like the way that the rank restrictions work, that it's between one rank division. It's not necessarily say okay, say you hit Emissary, right? I can play with you even though I'm an Oracle 4. You don't have to be Emissary 4 to play with me, right? I like how it's like that, but I think they should keep it like that. I'm just saying we should just add another player, just one more player to the party queue size, and I think that would actually help a lot with the problems, especially with the coordination and whatnot, and kind of just like, because like solo duo queue, I don't know, for me, solo duo queue has always just been kind of miserable. I always enjoy playing with like a larger group of friends, and just kind of goofing around and stuff like that. I feel like as soon as your duo's mental gets down, it kind of brings your mental down, and it really just sucks overall. Obviously this isn't any flame towards anybody, but like that's just what happens sometimes. Especially with me, like I get tilted, and then I know I start bringing down the people around me, and like I feel like shit, and everybody else feels like shit, and it's just like at that point it's like, what can you do? You know what I mean? But like having that extra person there, I think also just like it just lightens the mental load that everybody's taking. And just knowing that you kind of have another person that like you can trust and rely to at least perform and predict consistently, I think just adds to that kind of better overall experience. And that's kind of why I liked Deadlock as a MOBA more than League, because I did play League before transitioning to Deadlock. I was more of a hero shooter person, but I played League with my friends for fun. I never got into ranked League, but definitely I enjoyed playing in those bigger party sizes instead of just like playing solo League or playing with a duo.
I agree. Yeah. I would be freaking down for like a trio stack, but they would need a trio stack to be fighting on the trio stack. Yeah. And I wouldn't want 4 or 5 stacks, but I would think 6 stacks are okay if it's fighting another 6 stack. But they would need like data on how much people actually do 6 stack, which I feel like they just have to open it and just see how it goes. Especially in like a closed like alpha scenario, just like, cause
see what works.
I don't want the 6 stacks in rank if there's like a 1% chance or like a 10% chance I solo queue after like a long day and I fight like the sweatiest 6 stack Silver's ever seen.
Yeah, you fight against melee creeps and poppers pupils.
God. Pro teams warming up.
And to your point, I think the reason that it is so restrictive in party size right now is not due to any like balancing thing, because I'm going to reference Dota 2 a lot because it's a Valve game and it's a MOBA, so I think they pull a lot of what they learned from that game.
It's your best point of reference as well, so yeah.
Yeah, Dota does do exactly this for queued stacks. If you are even in a duo stack, it will place at least one duo stack on the enemy team to sort of counteract that communication ease. And I think because this game is in active development, a lot of the mobs and buildings on the main map are still placeholder. Several heroes still need model updates.
Sinclair.
This is on their plan of things to do. It's just not strictly necessary in this moment. So they are working on the things that are strictly necessary, and then they will add this in as quality of life in the coming months. I would be surprised if we don't see it within like a year or two at maximum. I think this is more like a software development timeline thing than it is like an individual problem with any specific way that the game is played.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
All right. Next, how grindy do we want the rank system to be? How much over a 50% win rate to climb? Okay. Let me put some perspective for you. Before the matchmaking update, I had a 60% win rate, and I climbed to Eternus in 700 games. Before that, when I played Marvel Rivals, I had played about 300 games with about a 55% win rate and climbed to one above all in Season 0. In my opinion, I think that the golden sweet spot for win rate to climbing is about 53% win rate, because 51% is too low. You play enough games, you get to the highest rank, but I feel like 53% is very achievable for the average Joe Schmo to be able to reach their dream rank and be able to actually climb the ladder, because as you climb the ladder, the win rate requirement that you need goes up and up and up. So as like you climb the ranks and you climb the ranks and you climb the ranks, like your win rate, say like the average win rate in Phantom was 53%, right? A lot of people would be happy stopping in Phantom, right? To get to Ascendant, it's say like a 56% win rate. You know, to get to High Ascendant, it's a 60% win rate. To get to Eternus, it's like a 63% win rate on your account, right? I feel like the sweet spot for the average Joe to be able to climb a healthy amount without kind of losing out hope for like, oh, I'm hard stuck, is about 53%. That's, in my opinion, what it should be for like the average player.
Yeah, I would say that sounds about right to me. I'm discovering very, very more and more so as I am in this community that I'm very unique in that this is my first hero shooter and my first MOBA and my first, like, I mainly played single player games before this. So a lot of these questions that I'm having are just me trying to answer my own questions that I have about this game, this rank system, how everything works. It's really interesting to hear all these different perspectives as well. But yeah, let's see. Arcanum Sab, did you want to chime in on how grindy we want it to be, or did we want to move on to the separate ranked casual PvE mode discussion?
No, you go, Seb. I'll follow you
Yeah,
up.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, I'm heated about this. I hit
go for it. That's what we want to hear.
50% win rate climb. When I started my placements, I won 6 of them and lost 2. Okay? So, like, already it put me relative to the rank before, I'm a little bit higher.
Okay.
Given that, I queue up more ranked, and across the next 3 or 4 days of playing Deadlock, I win 3 games and I lose 12.
Ooh.
If I take a little bit of accountability, and say, okay,
Deadlock players.
not all of those games are my fault, are my team's fault. I messed up on some of them. Some of them maybe I bought bad or I played some fights bad. But there's like no way all 12 losses are like fully my fault. Like since then I'm more averaging like a 50-50 win rate. But it feels bad to log on to the game. You win, you stress yourself, you win, plus 300. Okay, I'll queue again. Stress yourself, lose. Maybe your team gets toxic. Maybe they're angry. And then it's like, okay, well, negative 300. And then it's just like a chain of that. I don't think it should be forced positive win rate in the lower ranks, because the games are actually like 2 coin flip. I don't think you should be able to negative win rate your way up to Eternus whatsoever. I think you should be able to get yourself to like maybe Oracle, or like halfway through the rank below Oracle, and then it like starts like forcing 50-50. But like I don't think it should be forced 50-50. I think there's like some genuine great players in Silver who just should not be there, and it's like I'll fight them. I'll be like, okay, I'm just not on the level of them. And then there's some players I'll meet. It's as if it's like their first day on the game.
Yeah.
So like the rank is just too all over the place to consistently win. And it's like if you let players win up to a point, like I feel like if they can keep maintain like even a close to 50% win rate, I think they deserve to rank up. And then once they have better teams and stuff, I think force to 50-50 because the games are a little bit closer. And if you really suck, you de-rank.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with what you're saying. This is why I kind of want a little bit performance-based point association.
Just
Just
a
a
little
little
bit,
bit, even if
Yoshi,
it's
please. Just a little bit.
even if it's just like an extra, even if it's just like an extra 100 points like tagged on top, just because it'll allow the players who are performing well within their rank to climb, and to not suffer as much of the loss, if they do end up losing. Because honestly, like there are games where I perform really badly, and yeah, I'll eat that loss on the chin. Give me my minus 400 points. I'll take it.
Whatever.
If I perform really well, it's like I'm performing above average to my peers. Say I have like a 60% win rate in Emissary, I should be able to blast my way through Emissary to get to harder lobbies where it would be closer to that 50-50 mark. So I feel like that should be able to kind of speed up the grind as well, because I feel like Deadlock right now is kind of in this stalemate phase where if you win one, lose one, you're just hard stuck. I mean, look at me. I've been stuck in Oracle for the past almost like, what is it? It's been a month now, right?
It's been 3 or 4 weeks. It's the ranked update.
Exactly.
It's like we're about halfway through the season. Like if I want to get to Ritualist, I actually need to play the game. Like I need to play ranked like every day, and I have not been.
I feel like some performance based.
I want to get to gold.
It would also kind of performance based, like, yeah, it does lead to stat padding and it does lead to, but it would also, I think, help with the, inting problem too in Deadlock, because people who are intentionally throwing games or who are just not within the rank that they're supposed to be will be able to kind of get into games where they'll actually be able to kind of work on their fundamentals and actually improve at the game, and then they can come back up and grind their way back up and actually be able to play the game normally, instead of being placed with players that are on fresh accounts. Because I've had games where people are smurfing in Oracle and they just don't give a crap about the game, so they'll just run it down. I think me and Pelican literally last night had a Rem who just sprinted it down lane, died 5 times, and then called it a day. I mean,
in ranked.
Yeah, in ranked.
All chat's GG and gives up mentally.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that a little bit of performance points, just a little flavor, a little sprinkle wouldn't hurt anybody.
Just for me, it feels bad when I'm in pretty low ranks. I play Abrams, I play Victor. If I hard carry a game, it just feels bad to like get MVP and then get the same amount of points as everybody else. But I understand, in the interest of fairness, in the interest of keeping ranks not super inflated and avoiding the stat padding issue like we were talking about. You really don't want to have too much of a performance-based metric, because people will try, as soon as you create a system, people will try to game it. We're gamers. That's what we do,
Yeah.
Like,
my solution.
There's also.
Go ahead, Arcane. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, there's also. And again, just to bring it back to Dota 2, when Dota originally introduced like calibration games, everybody spammed Zeus, which, for those who don't know, Zeus is a character who has an ultimate ability that hits everybody on the enemy team globally with a a moderately large nuke. And the reason people were spamming Zeus is because damage was a big factor in your personal MMR growth.
So Zeus could,
So regardless of whether or not they were going to win the game, they were hitting their ultimate ability on cooldown every time. Like, it's up, let me press it again because I need to pad those damage numbers. Whereas like supports don't deal nearly as much damage, especially utility supports, and suffered as a result of it. And you get that Victor MVP, but there was maybe a page standing behind you who is shielding you at regular intervals and healing you when you were in trouble. And
literally Goblin my duo.
So
that's literally what was happening most of the time.
Yeah, so you're enabled, but in ways that a scoreboard can't keep track of.
Well, and that's a point that I was going to bring up as well. Is one, you want to avoid stat padding, And two, what do you consider contributing to a win? You know,
Yeah,
as Abrams, I can solo contest a mid boss and steal two of the three rejuves, burn the other one. Does that show on the scoreboard? You know,
right,
no.
exactly. And I think that individual performance is an interesting and good idea. However, I think it needs to be done. It needs to be done very carefully. Every hero needs to be looked at individually in terms of like, for Paige, you'd be tracking how many barriers you've given specifically from your ability for that game. So people aren't just like buying, barrier items. but like, and then I think your performance should be checked against yourself. So if you are on a losing game, but you performed really well and you're near or just below your average, maybe you lose some less points because you played about as well as you normally do. It's kind of hard for the game to say it was your fault. If you
personal performance is a great metric.
Yeah, you just judge it against your personal averages. It's an ever-changing number. It will increase as you increase. To sort of bring it back to the personal win rate thing, I think the reason that people think that that season as it is right now is too grindy is a lot to do with the time limit. We were handed a beta season 1 that was 2.5 months, I think,
which is essentially no time at all for this kind of thing.
Exactly. And on top of that, like, think about how often you actually grew in rank before the matchmaking update. I know that I sat in Oracle for the majority of my time in Deadlock. I played in Phantom, I got the way all up to peak in Phantom 6, and then started tumbling back down a little bit right before the matchmaking update hit. And but like, I sat in Oracle for like over a year, and I didn't think it was too grindy. I was happy as a clam because my games were fun, and I was like, well, I'll get there when I get there, So I think the time limit is a big part of that. And the reason this season is so short is because it's a beta season. I think in the future we'll see seasons that are 6 to 9 months long. That's just going off of Valve's track record with other games. That's usually how long they make them.
Not to bring it back to Dota again or anything, but
Deadlock is Dota, by the way, guys. If you didn't know,
it's true. It's Dota
3. It's Dota 3.
Yeah.
Oh well, I mean, I'm just gonna say what we're all thinking. Yoshi's Ice Frog. So
I've heard that so many times. I don't think it's confirmed, but
it's not confirmed, but they operate in pretty much the exact same way. So
that's the reasoning that I've been hearing is like, look at the balance patches for Dota for the last however long. Look at the balance patches for Deadlock. Look at how the balance patches slowed down for Dota when more balance patches were more heavily coming out for Deadlock. Anyway, it's just a lot of conspiracy theories.
I think I'm in agreement with Sab that as long as your win rate is above 50%, you deserve to keep climbing because you will win more games than you lose. Yep. Even if you're at like 50.5% and you're just eking out 2 extra wins over a course of time, you will gain rank. But the thing is that your win rate is not a static number. Your win rates, when I first played this game and ranking kind of first came out, not this matchmaking update, but like the way back when the first tiers were originally introduced, I was boasting like a 56, 57% win rate. And that felt really good. And as I climbed in the ranks, my win rate began to decay because I was getting closer to where I was supposed to be. And it's up to me now as a player to grow personally to force more wins out. And, that's part of the big thing that I've been trying to focus on. But, don't sweat a 50% win rate because that means you're exactly where you should be, or you have just plateaued and you need to start training different muscles and strategies in order to increase your win rate again. But as long as you're sticking above that 50%, you will grow. The problem is when you have a sub 50% win rate and you're still going up.
That's I don't think you should be able to have sub 50 and climb.
I will say though, with the way that kind of like the performance-based tracking should be, I know for a fact that Valve is notorious for keeping very, very, very detailed records about stat lines in their games, and I have I have very high confidence that Deadlock could track a lot of these performance metrics that are not shown on the scoreboard, such as mid-boss contests, rejuve stolen, Rejuve secured. Even I hit a clip the other day where I stole 2 urns in the same game from the enemy who went to go hit it. I parried them off of it and just ran away with the urn and was able to secure it on my
Saw
own.
that clip.
And that's just stuff that doesn't show up on the scoreboard, even though it is an objective-based resource, and I stole it, and that provided a good 6,000 soul lead to the team just for stealing those 2 urns.
Just for denying that. Yeah.
And just like stuff like that should definitely be tracked instead of just damage done, healing, damage tanked, barriers. There's a lot of more different metrics to be able to, and a lot more complex metrics that I think that Valve could draw upon in terms of performance, like damage dealt per life or objective damage done per life. I really like per life averages rather than just an overall number, because it kind of tells you how valuable you were during your uptime rather than overall in the game, because there are some games where I'll go rack up 30,000 damage within the first 15 minutes, and then by the end game, I have 0 damage by the time like the late game comes around. Minute 45 comes around, the game's really dragging on, and I'm kind of useless. And I think that like performance metrics like that would show signs of or more promising signs of like what type of player you are depending on the state of the game rather than just your overall number, and would prevent that stat padding in a way.
Yeah, I'd agree. I would just also have the caveat that they have to be individually hero based.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, if you're I don't know, like I'm just gonna bring it back to Paige because she's easily the most pickable out as the Giga support.
Yes.
If you're a Paige, I wouldn't want to keep too close of a track of how much objective damage you're doing per life, because I expect that to be very low to begin with.
Yeah. All right, I am gonna move us along to the next section because we already have kind of picked this horse, I think, already enough.
We're spending quite a bit of time on this one.
But yeah, Jarek, if you'd like to take us away to the next section.
Yeah, let's see. We're on the how do we think the new casual ranked system has affected the overall ecosystem of the game? That one. Or no, that's sorry. I went down too far. Now that we have separate ranked and casual, what other new modes would we like to see in the future? I've heard a lot of discussions about PvE based modes, stuff that, like man versus machine in TF2, any out of the box or different modes we'd like to see, kind of like Street Brawl, something that's just the same assets, same characters, same general world, but just something new, something kind of fresh, something different. And I know doesn't League have like ranked 4 separate modes? I know they have a bunch of different game modes other than standard.
They have quick play, they have draft, they have ranked solo duo, and they have ranked flex. Those are the 4 official League of Legends modes. They also have ARAM and arena, and then they have a rotating limited time event modes, such as Brawl, Nexus Blitz, and Earth.
So how many?
They also added ARAM Mayhem.
Yes, ARAM Mayhem, mode. Very fun. I love ARAM Mayhem. Okay. Very fun.
So my point is, how many different modes can you grind ranked in League?
2.
Okay. All right. So would we want to see something like that in this game? Would we want to see
I want to keep
standard.
I want to keep ranked just the one. My idea, though, Valve loves to do the community server idea. They have a billion modded community servers in TF2. They had the same thing in CSGO. Unfortunately, not in CS2, I don't believe. Or at least to the degree that they had it in CSGO. But I would love to see, I'm sure that a lot of you have seen the Gluten Snake videos of like Initiates versus Eternists, but the Initiates have like unlimited cooldowns or something like that. I'd love to see those kind of community servers pop up, and I think they'd be a whole lot of fun, and it'd kind of make Deadlock into what the community wants it to be, and really kind of give it that mode or that ability and capability to kind of have the community take Deadlock in the direction that they want to, because I feel like Valve's community is such a loyal fan base that any game that they fall in love with, they will make their own, and they will make it into their version of the ideal game that they want to play. And I think that having that that big Valve kind of overhead, kind of being like, okay, this is too much, but also having that space for the Deadlock community to kind of go crazy and experiment with the game, I think would also be generally very healthy. And I'd kind of like to see those kind of custom modes come out, because I do enjoy playing those custom modes a lot, especially when trying to wind down. I don't usually like playing standard in Deadlock just to kind of wind down. If I was playing TF2 or CSGO, I'd want to hop on like one of those like B-Hop op servers and go and like see and go mess around and have fun, or go play Saxton Hale or Man vs. Machine.
Do some movement or something. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, there is actually community, like there's like mods and they're like stuff you can download for Celeste B-hop maps.
Yeah, I've seen those.
So like
Have-
there's already possible, and I think it's like roughly on the same engine as CS:GO. So it is like not impossible that they could do some support for like a surf type game mode.
That would
Have
be
you
I
cool.
all
don't
has
think it's too out there.
have any of you used Blockify? Do y'all know what I'm talking about?
I have not used
No.
Lockify.
Here, real quick. Give me 2 seconds. I'll send a link to it in the Discord, blockify.gg. But y'all were talking about the custom like movement maps for CS, right? Where you would go and you would do bunny hopping and surfing and all that stuff. This is essentially the same thing, but it creates a custom Deadlock server for you to connect to that has movement training tools. It has. I suck at the movement in this game. I've never tried to do this kind of like source movement where you do the strafing and all this stuff. I've never tried to do that before. So this resource has really helped me kind of get better at strafing because it shows you exactly what to do, and then you copy it.
Oh, yes, I saw this.
Yeah.
This
You probably
seems
seen
like
it,
a
just
really
didn't
strong
think about
tool.
it.
Yeah.
It's
I'm a big fan of
extremely
this.
strong. Yeah, because movement is so strong in this game, and
They need
whoever
to
made
like.
it.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I was just saying, whoever made it put a ton of time and effort into it. You can tell just from like how it's set up, and it's got training from the very basic movement all the way up to super advanced. But go ahead, Sab. I know you were saying something.
Yeah, I was gonna say that they need to hire the person that did that. I actually think they need to hire them.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because
I love
the
and I love
movements-
that Valve does stuff like that.
The movement's so complex, and like you can't look at a new player and assume if they've watched no content, if they're genuinely going in blind, they're not gonna understand the physics for a corner boost. So if they genuinely hired that person and put a resource like that like officially into the game, then I think they could keep, because as it stands, I don't like corner boosting because it's not obvious and it's a little out there. And it's like, unless you have somebody else go and tell you to do it, you're barely ever gonna figure it out.
I've
Maybe you
done
need
it
to, like-
on accident, but you're gonna be like, oh, what was that? And you're gonna assume it was a glitch, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like a new player hits that, they're just like, oh, that was a glitch, or like my character was
Yeah.
a bugged out there.
Yep.
So it's like but if they have like that guard, and then they can go, oh, there's a course for corner boosting. That's what I did. And I think they could have like wacky movement like that.
Yeah, I think expanding the tutorial
Yeah.
system in Deadlock 100% should be definitely hit
Being
movement
very
a little bit
generous
harder.
calling it a system.
Yeah, it definitely should improve on the movement and definitely a lot of different aspects of the game because the tutorial is kind of lackluster right now. I'm gonna be honest. I never played it because I knew how bad it was. But
I did.
But yeah, I definitely think they should expand their tutorial workshop a little bit more, and I think that the Lockify like movement maps would definitely 100% be like, oh, this is how you do this and that and that, and it just kind of explain a lot more about the game and kind of how in depth it is, because people like depth. They like to discover things, and they like to, if they see something cool, they want to practice it, and it kind of brings people back to Deadlock. Because if you go into Deadlock blind, you're just like, oh, I just can dash and slide around, not really do much else. So kind of figuring out edge boosting and corner boosting and that good movement, you're like, wow, this game is so much more to offer. I'm gonna keep sticking with this game. I would really want to get good at the movement.
That's part of what hooked me in. I was playing the game and I was like, yeah, this game's pretty cool. And I was looking up some content for it, and I saw a movement guide. I think it was Leaf. I think it was one of Leaf's early videos, and I saw how he was moving. He was doing a demonstration on Holiday, because everyone does demonstrations on Holiday because increased air movement. And he was hitting edge boosts and corner boosts. He was demonstrating like wall gliding. It was just all this stuff that I had no concept existed. And I was just like, I need to learn how to do that. And so it's just been one of those things that you just practice movement over and over and over again. So the Lockify thing is incredible for that. Let's see. Sorry, I think I kind of derailed what we were talking about.
That's all right.
Okay. I can already, not to spoil anybody, but I've seen what's already in the files for the game. PvE is absolutely coming to the game.
Yeah,
in terms of what form that's going to take. The map looked to be very unfinished, and I'm sure that's a big part of what they're working on now. It will probably ship at the same time as all the jungle camp creatures because that's what they're going to want to use for it, especially because of the potential of like, and neutral camps will have to move towards you instead of standing in solitarily in place. I think an arcade mode, like Noble said, Valve on all of their past games has been big on adding community-made arcade modes. We're kind of living that right now, but I think it'll be fully incorporated into the game as like an in-game menu that you can download directly from. As far as anything else, I think Deadlock is uniquely positioned to play as much stigma as there is on this word. I think Deadlock is uniquely positioned to have an Overwatch mode. We're going to rebalance all of the abilities to not require items, to not require scaling or levels, and you can play a 6v6 Overwatch style game mode on a handful of maps that would, expand over time.
That would be interesting to see, definitely.
That was one of the things I was going to mention. I saw those game files that you were talking about, Arcanum. And the hangout area, I think, would be a really cool area for us to do the podcast in. Mod our characters to sit down. I don't know. I just think that would be kind of cool. I think I know
where that's going too.
Yeah.
There's in the hideout. There's a double set of doors right next to the trophy shelf. I think that's where the lounge is going to go.
All right, Sab, you were saying?
Sorry, Sab.
On that topic of the modding your character to sit down, I'm not trying to plug or anything. I genuinely have a way to go, somewhere to go from here. I'm in the middle of making a video, and in that video, I'll have little segments in between big patches of the game, is whatever. I'll have little patches where I had to go into the Explore New York City, and I figured out there's a way you could lock your camera in place and still move your character, and then I found it was a way to hide your HUD. So I handcrafted using bots and controlling one card at a time, little cutscenes of characters talking to each other to make the video entertaining. But it is so tedious and so difficult. And what I really want them to do is make a genuine way to do this way easier. And do what you said, have your characters sit down, maybe pose them, maybe maybe give them set motions to do, and then hit play. They'll require some, I don't know.
I definitely think
it would be neat.
I think a Captura mode, from Warframe, or a cinematic mode, where you can position your characters, would definitely be helpful for a lot of Deadlock content creators. Because right now, you have to do all of that in Blender or in another software like that, and then record all that in there, which that can be a pain to do, especially if you have no idea about 3D modeling whatsoever. I have a friend of mine who dedicated years to learning this to be able to do this efficiently, and a lot of people, they don't have that kind of time to do it. So having something that they could easily kind of go into, familiarize themselves with in order to create higher quality content, I think is definitely something that the Source 2 engine can handle, because we already have the Steam Filmmaker. But just implementing that into Deadlock, I think would be able to.
Can you imagine the fan films that would come out?
Oh yeah, they would be amazing.
Remember all the TF2 animations?
Yeah, the Saxy Awards. I remember that growing up.
Oh, so good.
There's already a growing number of them for Deadlock as well.
Yeah,
I've seen. Yeah, there's a lot of animations for Deadlock. It's impressive. It's impressive. This community is amazing.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, the artists in this community are incredible.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's see.
Some sort of cinematic mode. That's all I want right now.
Yes,
I'm all in
agree.
on that.
100% agree.
A large portion of the time of the video is I'll position my camera here, and then sometimes a character will be off screen and walk in, and I'll say my lines, and then I'll hit the W key, and my character doesn't show up. So I have to unlock the camera and figure out where I am, and then reposition myself.
Yeah,
because I just lost myself.
Yeah.
Sorry to derail it from the topic.
No, you're
this
fine.
Is perfect. This is perfectly relevant to the topic, Sab.
This is podcast core.
Yeah.
What do we think the development cycle is going to look like for new content going forward? So that actually loops us back around into that perfectly, because a filmmaker, some kind of cinematic mode, some photography mode. I don't know, something.
I think a theater mode is absolutely in our future.
Theater mode, yeah. There we go. Yeah.
For the development cycle, for Deadlock, I like the way that OG Siege used to do their updates, where they had a season patch and then they had a mid-season patch as well. They had a mid-season balancing patch, or where they could introduce a little bit of new content, and then they had the major patch, which was at the end of the 3-month cycle, is when they used to do it. I think that Deadlock could extend it to a 5-month cycle. It could keep it in the about 5 to 6 month cycle with a mid-season patch. I feel like the Deadlock community, as much as they are impatient, wouldn't mind as long as the content is good.
Gamers impatient
Could work with that, but definitely I think that they need to kind of consistently push out like content for people to kind of enjoy, and not necessarily new content, but just like overall like health updates, quality of life, and in general just like keep the game kind of fresh and interesting to keep a lot of the players, because a huge reason that I left Marvel Rivals was that the game, to me, as much as they were adding new content, it wasn't interesting, nor did any of the content really feel like it was heading with a sense of purpose or direction.
90% of the new content was stuff you could buy.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I absolutely agree with the Rivals. Rivals was just getting so boring, and the meta never really changed from like super heavy poke, infinite healing, support ult, big circle of infinite healing. I would hate for any of that to try to come to this game.
And I don't think it will.
No, it won't. Valve's not going to let that happen.
Pays very close attention to their competitors, and Valve's strategy throughout the years has been do their own thing. Other companies shoots themselves in foot and then win. Yeah. So Valve has a tried and true method, and I don't see them altering from that. Oh, yeah. I will say to everyone listening to this podcast who is relatively new to Deadlock, you are eating so good right now. As impatient as the community is, getting 6 heroes every 6 months is nuts.
Massive.
Oh, yeah. It is unheard of.
I don't think anyone has ever released that many.
Yeah, and Marvel Rivals has also skewed that a lot. Releasing a hero every 3 months is also kind of crazy, and it's caused a lot of, for complete lack of a better term, hero slop. A lot of the new characters are cobbled together mechanics from other heroes that are just like the same pieces in a different package. Deadlock has at least so far proven itself to be very unique in its mechanics and how it pairs things together. I do think we will continue to see a 5 to 6 month development cycle with intermittent smaller patches throughout that period. As fun as a mid sort of like waiting period patch would be, I think as much as I would like it myself, I just don't see Valve doing it. They kind of operate on their own clock.
Yeah.
But I think I don't remember who said it, but it was I heard this line, and it really stuck with me, is that in order for Deadlock to launch into a full open beta, it would need around 50 heroes. With this new big content update coming, if we receive 6 new heroes as we have with the last 2, then that would put it right at or right next to that 50 hero mark, which is that sort of golden number. I expect
44?
to still.
What are we at?
Yeah, we might be at 44. I think we're at 44 or 45.
Hold on. I'll count.
You can just Google it.
Yeah, but while he's checking that, I think that those who are really enjoying these like big
38.
drops, 38. Okay.
So 44 would be 6 new.
All right, so next year we're getting official Deadlock 1.0 50 hero mark.
If it keeps following the current trend, yeah.
Yeah, the current, yeah.
So I think that once we hit that hero mark, I expect to see new heroes slow down a bit. Maybe we get 3 or 4 when those drops come, but it will absolutely trickle down. I've seen Dota drop as low as 1 to 2 heroes a year that are announced at their big annual tournament. And that's kind of like that to me is more like on maintenance mode, which is where TF2 has been for like the past 15 years. TF2 has been on maintenance mode. It still gets new content, but it's very much slowed down. And Deadlock will get to that point. Deadlock will get to that point one day, maybe in a decade or so. But I would expect to see content not slow down in frequency, but slow down in how much of it is being released. But we will have a couple of years yet of real good eating.
Yeah, no, I mean this game. Actually, while we were doing this podcast, a minor balance patch dropped. Just so everybody knows.
Just right now? Oh, boy.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
we're gonna have to read that.
Yoshi watches the
For last-
podcast confirmed.
Yep, Yoshi watches
Radiant
the podcast.
Radiant Regen has been reduced. Heal on cast reduced from 70 to 65. Resto Lock Experience.
All right, we can go over that later.
And then Celeste got a bunch of changes.
I'll spoil you right now. There are a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are a total of 12 lines. 10 of them concern Celeste.
Yep.
Ah, okay, perfect.
This for
Yep.
me,
That's why I was reading it, because I was like, oh, it's nothing. And it's Celeste. Yeah, and it's Celeste.
This patch reminds me of the Shiv patch right after they reworked his
Oh,
dash. Where they
yeah.
there was a
Yeah.
patch. It was just 4 lines. It was just like giga killing Shiv.
Yep.
Yep.
They took away his kneecaps.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, the other 2 lines are related to items that Celeste purchases.
Ah,
Yeah, the Radiant Regen and the Resto Lock. It's so funny.
oh boy.
All right, let's see. How do we think the new casual / rank system has affected the overall ecosystem of the game? I think we've kind of talked about this already with just how things have felt, but like how do queue times feel? How do the quality of games feel? Are they feeling more fair and balanced? I guess we kind of already covered a lot of this. How do we feel about the point system? What ranked rewards we're going to see in the future? Yeah, let's
Ooh, I
talk
would
about
like to
that.
talk-
What ranked
I-
rewards do we want to see?
Yeah, I was gonna say I would like to talk about ranked rewards. As much as they have the
Yeah.
plaque system right now, I feel like you should get a special skin for your character. Kind of like I know that Marvel Rivals did this. If you hit a certain rank, you got a free skin for a character. But what I would love
Oh yeah,
to
that was
see,
cool. That
what I
was
would
cool.
love to
Yeah.
see actually though, is them create skins for each separate rank, depending on what max rank you hit. And obviously, I would want them to make all the skins look good. Like if you were in Brick and you got say they made like a Brick Dynamo skin, like obviously it would make him look like a Brick house or something like that. You know what I mean? Or that's something cool
Does
like
anyone
that.
remember the gold skins from Smite? It would be like that.
Yeah,
with Brick.
kind of like that. Kind of like that, where they still made the skins look good, but depending on what rank you got, or climbed to, you get a skin concerning that hero along with all the previous ones of that rank. Kind of like how the Siege rank reward system would work. I played a lot of Siege, so I really like how they did their rank reward system, where it's you get a bunch of rewards based on how far up the ladder you climb, and your charm would evolve, or your charm, or technically skin in this case, would evolve as you climb the ranks, but they would still look good, even if you didn't climb that high up the ladder. As long as they kind of made it still feel like it was good quality and not something that is just like, oh, I got this and it's whatever.
You want it to be cool thing and then cooler thing, not
Exactly.
bullshit thing and then cool thing. you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. Because that always just makes people feel like crap if they're like in the lower ranks or just starting out and at the end of the season they're like, oh, I got this shitty Dynamo skin. You know, it's like, hey, at least it's something creative or fun. And then like say you got like an Emerald Dynamo if you hit a Turnus. You know what I mean? That'd be cool.
Be pretty cool. Yeah.
Something like that. I think they could definitely do something like that. I think that, and this will kind of segue us into our final section with monetization. I think that skins like this there should be a free skins market, where you can kind of get say ranked points that you could redeem for like free cosmetic skins, like that are like standard cosmetic skins, like a holiday skin, that they might release every so often. Because as much as like we all know that Valve is going to eventually monetize Deadlock with paid skins, I feel like having a way to earn free skins in the game is always something that kind of keeps players enticed, especially if the free skins are good, like quality skins.
Yeah.
Do I have a Dota anecdote for you?
Oh
boy, another one.
back to
Let's
Dota!
I'm so surprised.
Okay, so, well, Seb, did you have a piece to speak on? I'll let you.
No, I just want to say, can I go to the bathroom real quick?
Yeah,
While
go
you
ahead.
guys-
Yeah,
No,
go for it.
go
We
for
can,
it.
we can take 5 real quick.
If that's, I didn't want to like interrupt anybody.
No, you're fine.
I'm standing up. I'm
Alright,
moving around.
put it
I
back.
can't sit still. We're good. Yeah, like you're good.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I've been pacing my room this whole time too.
Ah, real thinker.
I need to move when I'm like
When you're
waxing
thinking.
poetic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to hit the thinker pose.
Yeah.
I'm like,
When I was homeschooled, I used to dictate a lot of my papers. My mom was willing to like let me dictate papers because I could think better while I was walking around, standing up.
Yeah, a lot of the great thinkers who
crazy.
usually pace around the room.
Yep.
Gets the blood
Gets the
flowing
blood
to your
flowing.
brain. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can't think when I'm sitting down too, but I just like my camera's tilted downwards, so me standing up, it's like kind of impossible.
Yeah,
but
completely fair.
Yeah, you
But
see,
yeah.
I mean, if I stand where I sit,
yeah, and also you can't see my cool posters. Like I don't know if you guys see the new
I
setup.
know.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
I was admiring them. Yeah.
Yeah, I like
you like my Dynamo and Furnace poster. That's for any haters that come in chat. They can just point to the poster, taps the sign.
Just point to the poster. You see it. You see it.
Yeah.
No, this game, I don't want to like talk too much while Sab's not here, but I'm so excited to see where this game goes in the next few years.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm so hype. I haven't
Yeah.
had a game.
Mhm.
Literally, the last game that made me feel any type of way to be this excited was like Shadow of Mordor, because it had such a unique Nemesis system.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you don't get this insane amount of just like, I've never played anything like this before, very frequently, if at all, or ever.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
No, I'm very happy to be a part of this community and to enjoy this game in a competitive setting where I can play at a high level, but also to create content for this, because honestly, like the Deadlock content community is so niche right now that really anybody could get into it. I mean, I just started streaming this game like less than 2 months ago, and I've already grown a whole bunch and met a whole bunch of awesome people. And like really, like the Deadlock community has been one of the best for making content because everybody's so willing to collaborate. When I was doing content back during Marvel Rivals and doing a couple live streams during Siege, it was so bad. I mean, it was such a tight-knit community from Marvel Rivals because everybody had come over from Overwatch, all the content creators. But here I feel like even people who are like still just super niche and really just kind of looking for their avenue to kind of fill in the gaps of what Deadlock content requires, everybody kind of has their place. Like I see a lot of like you have the funny content creators like Beef Universe and CF3 making their short videos that are hilarious. You have your educational content creators like Deathy, and you have people who are right in the middle, kind of like what we're doing here. So I really kind of like how the Deadlock community started to shape out. Even with a couple bad apples, I feel like they're not enough to ruin the bunch with the Deadlock community. I'm really happy.
The trend of content creation for Deadlock on the whole has been extremely positive.
Exactly.
And every game is going to have a couple of those, like, bottom of the bin content creators, but like I don't think it's slowed the momentum at all.
Yeah.
Or even like some half in the bag like Metro, where like his streams are god awful, but his YouTube videos are on the whole pretty good.
I was fooled by his YouTube videos when I first started playing this game.
No, Metro's content is actually pretty educational on YouTube, but his Twitch, ooh.
Yeah, but he doesn't follow his own advice.
I mean, do any of us practice what we preach?
No.
I try to, but
100% of the time. I mean, like, yeah, you try, but do you manage to?
It's a little different.
No.
It's a little different when Metro's defining trait is that he doesn't do what he preaches.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always, I think literally, I quit. I started being like, say, something's up, when every time I tuned into his stream, he was tilted and blaming his teammates. Every time. It didn't matter if he'd been streaming for 20 minutes or 20 hours. Yeah, he doesn't stream for that long, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he just would be tilted. Anyway, welcome back, Sab. You're back?
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Okay, so just to bring it back to what I was saying, Noble was commenting on season-based skin rewards and earning in-game skins. Again, a message to everybody who's listening to this podcast and plays this game. I'm very, very sorry. Your mods are going away. When monetization comes out, it will all be cosmetic based, and you will absolutely lose access to those skins.
Those configs are going to be bannable, no mods.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's just because this game has been operating for like 2 years now without making a single dollar. And at some point, it is still a game that needs to make money in order to survive, and that's going to be the way that they do it.
Yeah. How much money do we think Valve has put into this? I mean, it's millions.
Oh, millions of dollars, absolutely.
Yeah.
And they can absolutely afford to do that, but like they would prefer an asset over a liability.
Most people would.
But as to earning in games, well, first of all, just to comment on season reward skins, I think the only one that I would accept is one that you described it, where it evolves with your rank medal increase. Where everyone is essentially getting the same skin, and it's just a matter of like the different particle effect on it, or like slightly different trim or something like that. And I think that's mostly because a big deterrent for people, because ranked is the game mode that keeps you coming back, right? And one kind of problem I've discovered with seasons is that seasons can cause fatigue. Like, you might get towards the end of the season and like, oh man, I really need to put my nose to the grindstone, and you will burn yourself out on Deadlock, and then you will quit for a season and you won't come back. I think Ranked does a pretty good job of keeping you in the game without needing to have seasons. But if it was a tiered skin like that, and if it was retroactive, like say I got the beta season 1 Dynamo skin, and then in season 4 I finally hit Eternus, and now my Dynamo skin from season 0 it now has the full effects, that would be fine. If it's retroactive, that would be fine, because that gives you something to shoot for.
Yeah.
As for
it gives you a reason to keep constantly improving. Yeah.
As for in-game skins and rewards, what Dota 2 does is they have an in-game currency that you earn via, I think their current thing is every 3 wins over the course of a week period grants you a chunk. And then every 6 months, they give you an after-action report of how you performed versus everybody else who plays the game in the last 6 months, and then pays out additional for any categories that you scored above average. And it covers every category under the sun, so you're bound. It's usually a nice little treasure trove. And their in-game store for this like freemium currency is... and I should also say there's no way to purchase it. There's if you wanna buy skins from their store, you just get them direct money. But for this like point store, they have exclusive skins that you cannot find in the store. You can only find in this point store. And then any skins that they had previously sold that have aged out, usually like 2 or 3 years after they come out, will then become available on that store. So if you didn't get a super awesome skin, but you see it on there, you can just earn to play and earn it.
I like that idea a lot.
Yeah, I like that. I don't like being like permanently locked out of. Like I get it's supposed to be exclusive for the people who are there, but I want it.
Yeah, I hate FOMO in games. I hate it so much. It really burns me out of games. It burned me out of Marvel Rivals actually, grinding out so many games.
I kept looking at the season 0, and I was like, I should have started playing sooner.
Yeah, I literally I think I grinded out the entire battle pass because I was afraid I was gonna miss out on it. And like even the season where the Venom Jeff skin came out, I grinded the crap out of that battle pass just to be able to earn it, just because I was so afraid of missing out on it. And I burned myself out of Marvel Rivals for like the next 2 seasons. And it was just
it's too much. It's constant, right?
Yeah, exactly.
A new season every 2 months, a new battle pass every 2 months. It wears on you. Like I joined Marvel Rivals because I wanted it was neat and it was fun to be able to play as you know my favorite Marvel superhero. But like after the sort of thrill of that wore off, it became a grind, which became fatigue. And like I think I've missed like 2 or 3 seasons now. And honestly, I'd find it hard to tell you that I care. Like it all just becomes noise. Like I don't care about it.
Yeah.
Another thing is that any and all purchase skins will absolutely go onto the Steam market. So you know, if you how Valve typically does rollouts for in-game purchase items is they usually release a case or a treasure or whatever they want to call it that contains anywhere from like 6 to like 12 individual skins. A lot of them made from the community, by the way. So a lot of the mods that you enjoy now, I know for a matter of fact that the person who did the alternate Holiday and alternate Yamato models mod has been hired by Valve. For Deadlock specifically.
Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh.
So
where are you getting all this private information from? I need to know your contact. I need to get them on the podcast.
Yoshi.
Didn't they hire the person did the Yamato remodel?
They also hired the Risk of Rain devs as well.
That's what we were just touching on.
Yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure if that was that person.
They also hired
They also did the Holiday remodel.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that one as well.
Yeah, so a lot of those mods that you guys enjoy within reason will become community made skins, which get released in these like treasures or whatever. And treasures are usually like $2.50 a pop. And then the only sort of in the past, I don't know so much about CS:GO, but in the past they've all been duplicate protected. So if there are like 6 sets in the treasure, and you buy 6 treasures at 250 a pop, you will get one of each of them. You will never get a duplicate until you've unlocked all of them.
Good, because that's like one of my least favorite things about, like, I've only ever played like one gacha game. It's because a friend was like interested in it. We were playing it together,
Mhm.
and I just hated how you just get duplicates of everything. Constantly.
Yeah.
It's a horrible mechanic. It's a
So
horrible mechanic.
I would love to see something like that. Also, and this goes across all of Valve's previous games, they have never done skins. They have done sets. So the key difference is that a skin is like Marvel Rivals. Like you put on the Jeff Venom skin, and everything about Jeff is the Jeff Venom variant. Whereas like I think the one that people will be most familiar with is TF2. TF2 lets you put on a hat, like a top torso and like legs, and you can kind of mix and match. And that has been the same. That's been in TF2. That's been in CS:GO. That's been in Dota 2. So I think we are going to see something like that. And the cool thing about that is, over time, it promotes a player to buy more. I know in my previous time with Dota that I have like bought additional skins for a hero that I already had something for, because I was like, ooh man, that helmet would look really good with this armor that I already have.
Oh, that would look sick with these pants I got from this set over here.
The amount of Gibbous Pyrovision
match.
goggle heavies I've seen on the TF2 servers.
Yeah, and that becomes a form of player self-expression, so it kind of like rewards you back as well. Valve has typically, with their purchases, been very, very kind to the player, and I don't see that changing.
You know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see different hairstyles for Shiv. If they did that set, I'd love to see different hairstyles for Shiv. Give him a bunch of different
really
hairstyles, so that way you can really customize Shiv. Because Shiv right now, he has the big hair, but I would love to see different hairstyles for Shiv. That would be awesome.
The big hair is iconic. Like,
yeah.
I think an Elvis slick back is absolutely going to happen.
100%.
Yeah.
Give him the button, like the jeweled button like shirt, and give him like the flashy pants, you know.
Also, another big thing is that Valve, for all of their games, TF2 aside, because TF2's a bit more comedic in nature, but all of their other games, anytime they've created items, there's all been lore friendly. So I know League likes to go outside of that a little bit. Like I've seen some of the skins. I can't name any heroes, but yeah, like cheerleader skins or like basketball, jersey skins.
Isn't there one where someone is like their one career, and then they're like a pirate?
It's something of that variety.
A lot of the way League does their skins is interesting though, because they'll all their skins are tied to a set, and that set has its own lore, like very brief lore. But say there's like a set where there's like a set called Snowman, one of my favorite. All the skins are based on like the same kind of designs, same kind of art look, which is kind of how they do it.
So it's like a what if for the character, right?
Yeah, a lot. Like all the skins, like what if.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
At least it's not like a brand tie-in. It's not like I'm very much against the Fortniteification of everything.
The Pepsi Man lash skin.
One thing I want to see though, with Deadlock though, and I know that they can do this because they've already done it. The modders have already done it. Is announcer packs for the Archmother and the Hidden King. I want to see
absolutely.
it. I want to see that 100%. I know that comes from Dota 2, but
they absolutely will.
I would love to have like Soldier from TF2 screaming in my ear that that I am losing the game horrendously.
Your blue walker is under attack.
Or like an Archmother reskin of like G-Man from like Half-Life, and being like, and I think that would just be amazing to like have like different characters and voice act and stuff, and having a Gaben announcer pack would also be hilarious.
They had one of those for Dota too, didn't they? I watched a video about that the other day.
Yeah, I 100% would love to see that as well for like something in the shops, because Valve knows how to take a game and make it both the silliest thing but also the most serious thing that a person can customize to their extent of like how vanilla or how off the rails they want to make their experience.
Yeah.
There's also things. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Seb.
No, I'm personally actually really worried about cosmetics and how they do them, because for whatever reason, like I don't run any modded skins. I don't really run any mods at all. I don't know how they've done it, But like the world they've made and all the characters they designed, they if there's a skin on them, like I just dislike it. I don't like any of the community made skins, bar like I like the Yamato reskin, but I don't even run it. Like I don't know like how
I
to
like
say
that
it,
one.
but like there's like I don't see them doing full skins. I like somebody brought up that they'll do like the sets. The sets kind of make sense, but even then, it's like I don't know. I don't know about
Um,
skins. It's like it's inevitable, but I'm like so friggin' worried.
So, I
uh,
mean, this section is about how what do we think that would look like? What do we want it to look like? So, what would you want to see as monetization instead of, the skins or sets or something like that? Because I mean, they're like we said, they're going to monetize it in
Oh,
some
I
way,
think
shape, or
there's for
form.
sure going to be skins. I think
Yeah.
there's no way around the customization like that. I don't see it. There's no way I would do it. Me personally, I just don't even think I would. But that's probably like a bad like skins and like that stuff are cool. I don't know why I can't see them in Deadlock, but I think a lot of people are against loot boxes, and I get
Yeah.
why. I would like loot boxes if they do it the same as OG Overwatch, where they add a level system and then you get a loot box like per level.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that system was fun because you could get a lot, like maybe it wasn't the skin you wanted, but you could like build up just this arsenal of items. Like maybe you get like a Zen skin one time, or like maybe you get like a Victor skin, but you don't really play Victor. Well, like not like the one time you pick
Mhm.
up Victor, you have that Victor cosmetic. I don't want them to be monetized though.
Mhm.
Yeah, you want to see ways of
I don't
like
want them to be
earning
fully
them
paid
or
for. And I don't want how
Mhm.
Overwatch currently does it, where
Mhm.
like there's this like you have to win like 30 games a week,
ooh.
and then you get 3 loot boxes.
What was I
It's
gonna
that
say?
three
adds a
loot boxes
little.
for
Yeah.
30 a week,
What was I gonna
and
say?
it's
That's
the
So,
jobs,
worst system
bro.
I've ever
Like,
seen.
yeah.
how
Let
long does an
me.
Overwatch game take?
About 10 minutes.
20 minutes? 20
Yeah,
minutes?
10, 20 minutes.
Okay. All
If
right.
I
So
can
it's
just cut
shorter
in
than a
real quick.
Deadlock game, but still.
If I can
Yeah,
just
yeah,
cut
go
in real
for it.
quick.
Sorry.
I think a interesting idea to kind of fix the problem that Sav is make it a loot box system, right? But have it have the League Blue Essence shop where you can like what is it? Dismantle your unwanted armors and stuff and
Yes.
have a
Yes.
blue
Yeah.
essence shop and get those points and then be like, oh, there's this armor in the shop that hey, I have this useless Victor skin that I don't want. Let's get rid of that and let me buy this skin that I actually really do want and let me save up for it because right now, like in League, I think I have like 80,000 blue essence saved up because I'm trying to get something in the blue essence shop. And yeah, it comes around every once in a while, but I feel like a shop like that where you could kind of get items and dismantle them for points and then spend those points in a place that you could actually want skins that you want would actually really benefit the overall kind of grind because it yeah, like you're getting stuff that you don't want but you're also saving up for something that you might want and say like there's not any skins that interest you in the shop right now and you're getting a bunch of random crap you can just dismantle all of that, save up, and then when a new skin drops that you really like you can just be like, oh, let me grab that and just take it and then go play with it right away.
I think what you're
I
describing
agree.
is the
Sorry, go
Steam
ahead.
market. Sorry. I think that's exactly the way the Steam market will work with this game, where like you get that Vector skin you don't like, you put it on the Steam market, you sell it, and you save up the like Steam cash that you make from those skins, and then you see the skin you do want, and you just buy it directly from the Steam market.
Yeah, maybe.
I like that system. What I dislike is leagues giving out of loot boxes. That system also sucks. I only want loot boxes if they're generous with them. That's
Yeah,
the only time I
it
think
feels
loot
bad when
boxes
they're
are
not.
ever fun is if they're not locked behind a paywall and they're not trapped behind like 3 a week or some event that comes around once a month that maybe gives you like one loot box and you open it, it's a bunch of like voice lines. I think that stinks.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that killed Hearthstone for me. Was like I was like, oh man, opening these card packs is so fun. It's so expensive. Like if you want to actually, and if you like try to play the game a lot and you want to play the game at any kind of higher level, you basically have to spend a bunch of money on just opening a shit ton of packs.
I had the same issue with Magic the Gathering Arena.
Yeah.
Yeah, another card battler.
I'm
Yeah,
sure.
I'm sure all the card
Yeah.
battlers
Yeah.
are like that at this point. It's just pay to
Yeah,
play.
they are. Everybody wants to collect the cards. Everybody wants to hit the big card. They want to sell it. Everybody, no, cards are like if you try to collect Pokemon or anything. We're getting off topic, but cards are insane right now.
Yeah.
I will say the Magic Arena handles it better than every other platform.
Yeah, for sure. I just can't get into it.
Yeah, no, I think your weekly rewards for playing will come in the form of that in-game currency rather than a direct loot box, and then you'll be able to buy from like the in-game currency skin store, where like liquefying. I just Valve has done this for like all of their competitive games, not just Dota 2. So I do absolutely think that new skin drops will come in bundles in forms of like chests or cases or suitcases or whatever they want to call it. And you will be able to sell the ones you don't want to the Steam market and be able to save up for the one you do want.
Yeah, I don't mind that system. I don't think. We'll see.
We shall
Yeah,
see.
maybe I'll switch up on the skins and everything like that once I see them, because like in like no offense to any like skin modder or modeler like that, like all of them are insanely talented. They make some amazing skins, but there's a difference between like those modded skins and the skins produced by these like AAA companies like Valve and stuff like that, because they'll have like whole teams designing like one skin. They'll have like artists doing concept art. They'll have people review the concept art. They'll make like changes. Then they'll have like a team model it, and then people look over that model and they'll adjust it, and then they drop it. Like maybe if I see what Valve has in mind for skins, I'll switch up. But it's like I don't know. I don't see skins like. Yeah, I love them like so much. I think they fit the world. Like so much, and it's like I can't see me like walking around and like say I'm playing Mo and Crow, he just has like a hoodie on or something, or he has like
cowboy
just
hat,
a whole
Spurs,
bunch. Yeah,
jingles and Spurs.
I can't see that. I can't see that at all. I don't know why. I just can't.
No, and I think and I hope that Valve will be respectful to the world and the lore that they've created when making skins or when making cosmetics. We don't know if it's necessarily going to be full skins, and that's a hope. That's definitely not a guarantee. But I think this is kind of a good segue into like how frequently are we going to want to see new content? We mentioned this a little bit earlier, but the current dev cycle time is around 5-ish months. Do we think that's healthy? Do we want the ranked seasons to be about that same distance, or what are we thinking about that? I think I personally enjoy the current dev cycle time.
I'll let the rest of them talk about this.
Kick it off. Sorry.
Sorry.
No, go ahead, Sub. We're all talking over each other.
We're all tripping each other's words.
I think because currently, for like a long time, this is like one of the longest breaks we've had since like the game came out of no major update. We had August 18th, 2025, we had 6 heroes. 6 months after that, almost like 6 months, I think like 4 days or something, we had Old God's New Blood, which is like the biggest patch ever.
That was a big patch.
My favorite like thing I've ever done. It really drew me back into the game. After I was kind of done with it, I was like, I don't like Deadlock, I don't want to play it. It's poop. They dropped Old God's New Blood, and I was like, oh my gosh, Valve, I was wrong.
Best game ever. They're cooking.
I'm sorry, I wasn't familiar with your game.
Yeah.
But as of today, it's been 8 months since Old God's New Blood.
Damn, has it really?
It has been 8 months as of today.
Okay, well, wait, I've been streaming for longer. Shit.
Just let Yoshi cook, guys.
I was expecting the patch this week. I said weeks and months ago. I was like, they'll do it. for sure late August because that's when the Dota stuff ends.
Yeah. Has that
I'm
Arcanum
not
new?
very skeptical. I'm like, if they go, I've heard it genuine. I've heard so many people say October. If they go till October, they need to make this patch like the biggest thing ever.
Yeah.
I think they would need like, I would be asking like a new map. I'd be asking more than 6 heroes. I'd be asking like a game mode, like more creeps. Like not to talk too much, but it's like I know that's like it's like a game in development, but like
As
8
far
plus months for like a major update.
so this is what we call Valve time. There is actually a website that keeps track of all the Valve time, as in like in a community post someone says a few weeks, and then right next to it is like the actual time, and it was like 18 weeks.
Wait. What is that website? I
Yeah.
need that.
I don't have
Here, wait, I'll
the
just
URL off
look
the top
up-
of my head.
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna look up Valve time.
But Valve is notoriously slow with their content updates. That's just kind of how it is. As I understand it, and I don't know that all of this is going to make it into the this upcoming updates, but as I understand it, the big things that they're working on are completing the map, finishing placeholder buildings and placeholder areas, an entire revamp to all of the jungle camps. So
Yes,
not only
I'm so excited about that.
not only will they be of different tiers, like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, but each tier will also have its own collection of different kinds of camps that can spawn and interact with you differently. So like
I'm excited for that.
I'm so
and-
excited. I spent so much time in the jungle. I'm so excited.
hero models are also on their radar. There are several heroes that are in need of a model update. And then the 6 new heroes as well. So I think all of that's on their plate. I don't know that all of that is going to make it in. There's also files to suggest a PvE mode, and there's files to suggest an expansion to the hideout. I can almost guarantee you where the new ranked area sits, that landing right above it that's been dark and just held a couple of boxes for forever now. I can almost guarantee you that's going to become a wardrobe area where you play with skins.
Yeah.
Where you play with new things you've bought and lets you like try them out and see how they look on your hero.
Mhm.
So like there is a lot of stuff in the pipeline. Not to mention the another item update that they've alluded to but hasn't been mentioned in a while, so it's probably in the background and not coming this patch. But like they are working on a lot, and this is mostly to set up. I really hate to reference this, but it's like the one example that's good off the top of my head. Rick and Morty, right? Season 1 to season 2 was like a 3-year span. Seasons now release annually. They've got to put in the groundwork and lay the foundations of coding so that they can just pump out content later.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to make the game and the gameplay loop and the balance and everything super solid, and then they can worry about making everything pretty.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly right. Right now it's road to open beta, which means the game needs to appear to be in a finished state.
I remember when I started playing this game, I said that it felt more polished than Marvel Rivals, just because it ran so much smoother.
Yeah, I mean, Marvel Rivals is very unoptimized. It is horrendous.
It chugs.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It does its job, but very inefficiently, and much to your dismay.
Yeah, very much so.
Also, just as to the question I think Jarek was going to ask me, I theorized, and I think several other people theorized that an open beta announcement, or at least an announcement on the new update for Deadlock, was going to come at the Dota 2 International, because that's when Valve has a lot of eyes on them.
Yeah,
and
I think we had talked about that before.
The finals for that is tomorrow. It's been going on all this week. Today is semifinals day.
That is what I was going to ask you.
I think it's worth tuning in just in case they announce a Deadlock thing.
Yoshi's gonna
it'll
get
go
up on
up on
stage.
YouTube. It'll go up on YouTube.
Yeah,
no matter
I'll
what.
say it's gonna.
Yeah,
there's gonna be. It's gonna
do
go
they
to
do
the
like a
community like
live stream?
wildfire.
If they're announcing something, I want to see it freaking live.
Yeah, that'd be cool. What I was gonna say,
honestly,
all I know is that if they do drop an announcement about the open beta update, Dead Air is gonna be all over that, and they're gonna be all over that within the first 5 minutes of that announcement. I know that they
Yeah.
already
Yep.
have a video ready. They're just waiting for the announcement to edit in the date. I know for a fact because Dead Air, they are so fast with making content for new Deadlock news. They are honestly amazing.
are.
They are honestly
They're so
amazing
fast.
at getting
Yeah.
content out for what's new in the game and making short form content. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, do you work inside Valve? Like, how? As soon as they press the publish button, I feel like a video goes up, and I'm like, okay, because what was it when the big earn change update came out? Literally, I think like an hour and a half later, they already had a video posted about it.
Yeah, it was
It
fast.
was real
It was-
quick.
It was fast. I remember that. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, exactly. So
Content creation.
Also,
cycle.
sorry, it's something I wanted to touch on at the time, but I didn't get a chance to. Sab, you had worried about like cosmetics becoming sort of like clouding the clarity of the game as time goes on. Valve has an internal like invisible stat that they adhere to across all their games when they're creating cosmetics, and it's called the glance value. The glance value is based on color and general outline and shape. Valve's character design is very, very strong. So a lot of their characters have very distinct outlines. Abrams looks entirely different from Ivy, who looks entirely different from Viscus. If you just like imagine them as a black and white silhouette, it's pretty powerful. And
all the tanky characters in the game, none of them look alike.
Yep, and they're two big outlines that they adhere to when they're adding new skins to the game is glance value, not ruining that glance value. You should still be able to look and immediately know what hero you're looking at.
Yeah.
And then as well is lore adherence. You know, you're not going to see a disco dancer Shiv because we're in the 1940s.
I want 70s Disco Victor, bro. Come on.
the Disco Light Victor, he pops his 3 and a
Right?
disco ball appears above him.
Oh, dude, I would let it kill me every game. Every single game.
No, it's like
So-
it's like that mod for 7. I'm sorry, getting off topic. It's like that mod for 7 where they make him do Gangnam Style in his ult. Just something outlandish like
I
that.
forgot about that one.
So the point is that the visual information that you rely on in order to make snap decisions while playing the game, that value is they do as hard as they make it as they try as hard as they can to preserve that visual value to make sure that you don't lose it.
I think that they understand the value of just like the visual clarity, because I mean that's one of the things too about like Rivals is just the visual clutter that comes from everything.
That's where my concern with like skins. Sorry to cut you off with the skins is it's like
No, you're
from
fine.
Marvel Rivals, because I think they're Marvel Rivals, and I love Marvel comics. I love Thor. I have read hundreds of Thor comics. I don't know what it is. I just don't mesh well with the skins he has.
I agree. I
Um,
love Thor. He's one of my favorite characters. Hulk was my favorite, but Thor was one of my favorite tanks to play, and a lot of his skins were just kind of they're all right.
The opposite problem.
They
I
do way too little or way too much. It goes from like the same looking armor in like different arrangements, and then they just strip him down and put him in boxers and call it a skin.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think the best example of the Valve's glance value actually is in the skins that they implemented for Counter-Strike. Actually, I think is a really like when they implemented the new different kind of skins for Counter-Strike, you still knew what side you were playing, and you still knew what side you were playing against because they kept the color palettes about the same for the characters, so you still knew what side. Because like all the CT skins are like this bluish kind of dark navy blue, light blue with like some yellow in there, whereas all like the T side skins are all of like tan, brown, like darker browns, and like a little bit of red. And I feel like keeping that kind of distinction between like even just like the colors, even though the models don't look necessarily anything like the default skins that Counter-Strike is known for, you're still able to kind of figure out, oh, this is this guy, I need to shoot him, instead of, who in the world am I looking at?
absolutely.
And I mean, in a game where a 1v1 is decided in seconds, that's super important. It's so important to just be able to do that, to make that distinction quickly. Let's see. I'm sorry, did I cut someone off again? Go ahead, Arcanum.
Oh no, I was just gonna add a little tail end and like how the character moves, its animations, and and sound design is also like towards that glance value. So like, if you see a tall, gangly guy running at you with 45-degree angles with his arms and legs, you're probably looking at Doorman, regardless of what he's wearing.
Yeah. If someone's dragging their arm along the ground as they're running towards you, that's probably Victor.
Made outfit Doorman win. Let's get it in, Yoshi. You're listening. Let's get it in the game. Come on.
I'm genuinely don't know why I'm so worried about the skins in Deadlock, because I've been a big Overwatch person all my life. One of my favorite things about Overwatch is their skins.
So didn't they have like a shit ton of skins in Overwatch?
They have so many skins in Overwatch, and there's misses in places. There's some skins that are bad. I'm not too big on the recent skins they've been dropping, but like classic, like first few years of Overwatch, those skins were pretty good. Those skins were pretty good. And then it's like, I think it all must stem from like Marvel Rivals. I just hit Marvel Rivals skin design. I think it's
Half of them
uninspired slop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm sure they'll release skins, and I'm sure everybody will love them. I'm sure they'll have some serious skins, some fun skins. I love them when they come out, but it's I don't know why, but I'm so scared. I'm like so worried that they'll just like miss the ball there for me.
Yeah. Well, it's a legitimate worry. I mean, art design is something that strong art design can carry a game, and it is really difficult to maintain that across like such a plethora of characters, and then also trying to add skins onto that remain lore friendly, that are creative, that are cool. It's a lot. It's a laundry list of things to all hit at one time, and so I feel like it's a very valid concern that they may mess something up, but the characters they have created so far are sick as fuck.
They are phenomenal.
They're amazing. I love all of them, especially like the newer ones. Like look at like Venator's character design. I fucking love Venator's character design. He's my favorite.
If I can cut in, Jarek, what really keeps me playing games is the characters. Mm-hmm. I love, especially when new characters drop. It's like if I can connect with the character, if I can resonate with them, if I like their personality and I like how they're voiced, or like what they're kind of behind and what they believe in, and especially how they interact with each other, it adds so much personality. It makes you think like there's someone sitting with you in the room when you're playing Deadlock. It really just, and especially like with the atmosphere of the world around you, with the patrons talking to you and everything, it really makes it feel like a more complete experience, and it makes it feel like you can connect with the world of Deadlock a lot more, even if you're just sitting at a desk. And that's kind of what I fell in love with Deadlock about. I looked at the Doorman voice lines actually, and how he would taunt everybody, and I was like, yo, this is actually awesome that he takes like personal jabs at each of the characters. And some of them are absolutely hilarious. And it was just like, stuff like that always kind of makes me feel great about playing games, because the LARP value, what we'll call it, is there. Yeah. Like you're able to feel like your character, and you're able to kind of like embody your personality and kind of resonate with the character. And usually they'll play to how you want to play. Like because like with the Lash, for example, everybody loves LARPing as the Lash, but those egotistical people who love movement and like outskilling their opponents, and then teabagging them and typing GG easy, like you can do that. I'm sorry, it's a poor example, but I mean, how many Lash players have you seen that in a game? It's like it's 100% accurate. Have
you read Lash's bio?
It's exactly. It's LARPing. Like Jacob Lash is an asshole. Like
yeah, like just what it is.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like it adds so much flavor to the game, being able to kind of get away with stuff like that.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and they're not about to dilute that. One actually interesting thing that I didn't remember until just now, that I think kind of builds into what we're talking about with cosmetics, and especially like earned in-game cosmetics, is I don't know if anyone's had a chance to ever go through the original story, the original graphic novel story that was hidden in the files for Lady Geist.
Oh, I've read that.
I've watched it.
I watched
it.
I
watched it. I don't. Yeah.
So that was a choose your own adventure, and had several different outcomes based on the choices you made across like the 3 chapters. It was relatively short, but there were a bunch of different options. And the idea, I believe, at the time was, depending on which options you took, would affect how the character would look base kit for your game only, or like for when you play the character.
Oh,
That's a really cool concept.
There was also audio for Ivy, which if you've seen the really, really awesome Ivy animation that came out not too long ago, that pulls its audio directly from that story bit. And then there was there hasn't been any movement on it in a very long while. I believe I don't quote me on this, but I believe there was something in the game files to imply that there's still something in the works. But I think the final goal that they're sort of pushing for, if they're still taking this route, is to create a graphic novel fully voiced for every single character, so that you can play through their story, get to know who they are, and then your version of that character will look slightly different based on the choices you made.
that would be
Man,
cool.
that's the coolest thing I think I've ever heard
Yeah, that would be awesome.
for a game.
One thing though that I would like to see if they did that is not locking you out of obviously the other customizations of your character, because that would kind of suck.
Yeah.
If you obviously made a wrong choice and you're like, yeah, I didn't want to do that.
Oh, man, why?
Yeah, and like
My Geist arm, the keeper's on the left instead of the right.
Oh,
yeah.
I think just to add on to that, I think there's also for the Lady Geist one specifically, there is an ending where the story between Geist and Oathkeeper is not fully resolved, and in order to work with it, Abrams and Geist become roommates in order to work closely on the case. And there is actually some Abrams and Dynamo dialogue that is not currently in rotation, but Dynamo comments on the fact that Abrams is a roommate with Lady Geist.
Oh yeah,
I've
Dynamo's
heard the
like
dialogue. I'm a big fan of the hidden. trying to
So
find
like
that
the
hidden-
idea that you can play these graphical stories, not only does it affect the characters' visual looks, but also affects how the characters interact in the world around them. It goes so far to make the game feel alive rather than just like a bunch of lines that you've heard a billion times.
So what if you had like unique in-game dialogue for, if you had made certain choices?
yeah, that would be cool.
Exactly.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let's see. I think now might be a good time to segue. So the last 2 points we have are how often do we think it's realistic to see new characters, which I think we've kind of covered already, and our predictions for the open beta / game release, which I think we've actually covered that mostly already too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think today has been a very productive episode. I think we've had a lot of really good, productive conversation about, kind of where we think the game is heading, what we think it's going to do, what it's looking like. Yeah. Any final comments from anybody?
Interesting viewpoints. I was really I didn't think we had so many conflicting views between us, and it was really interesting to hear everyone's side of the
That's
coin.
what the podcast is for.
Exactly.
Talk about
Exactly.
it. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed the chance to sit and have this conversation with y'all. This was a good one. I like this one.
Oh yeah, I feel like the best way to learn about Deadlock is to talk about it. And this kind of gives everybody an opportunity to learn, because I'm one of these people
we all have such...
that even at a level of gameplay where you might be you might be a turn of 6 and you're like, I can't learn anything else. You can always learn something.
Yes.
There is always an opportunity to learn. I love teaching people and I love learning. It's just the thing that I do. I love soaking up as much information as possible. So anytime someone kind of gives me a tip or whatever, I'm like, interesting. I'll use that. And that's how you get better. But
Absolutely.
yeah, it definitely was a great time today. I think we had a lot of really great conversation, like Jarek said.
Yeah. Oh, something a thought I had for the end of the podcast is, since this is a streamer focused, since we're doing this in Streamlock now, we should plug any personal stuff we have going on. So, new episode of Jezebel's. You have your coaching, Nobel.
Yep.
I don't have anything too crazy going on, but if anybody has any major videos or events coming up,
I guess I'll plug. I do coaching on Metafy, so you can check me out at Metafy / Nobel or _ Deadlock or DL. Coaching's usually a pretty good price. I try and work with you as best I can. I also write guides for the game as well. I'm currently working on a laning phase guide to help folks who are new to Deadlock be able to kind of get through the laning phase, because when I coach a lot of folks, I see that they definitely struggle with laning and proper laning and kind of how to transition leads into the mid game. I'm also working on a couple educational content. I'm also working on a Grey Talon kill montage that I think will be pretty funny. And And yeah, that's about all I got going on right now. I usually try and stream every day around 4:30. So yeah, catch me live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Nobel_DL.
Awesome.
Ooh.
I don't think I do anything any better than any other player does, but if you like me and you like the conversations that I've had, I stream intermittently at twitch.tv/Proxquiry, spelled PROXQUIRY.
Yeah. And then Sab, if you had anything to add there at the end to plug.
Yeah, I stream, but I'm actively looking to lower my viewer count, so please don't watch my content. That'd be great.
Okay, got it. I won't. And nobody
He's
else.
simply
You're not
too
allowed.
successful.
Don't do it.
I'm suffering from success right now. If
Suffering
people
from
could
success.
just don't
Do not-
interact like with my content at all, actually.
Do not go to twitch.tv/SabSquab, SabSquab, right? Yeah.
No, I heard they are no fun at all. Never ever do
Awful.
that ever.
Terrible Deadlock content creator, just like the rest of us. Let's see. And then for me, I'm at twitch.tv/JarekDL. I stream live pretty much every day. I do co-host Jezebels. I'm also the co-founder of a Discord server called Streamlock. It's where we're hosting this podcast currently. If you are a Deadlock content creator of any kind, any way, shape, or form, Deadlock content creator, feel free to join. We're trying to do more collabs, planning to try and be a big part of the Deadlock community if possible. But yeah, Nobel, if you want to do a little outro for the actual podcast, I think we're done for today.
Thank you everybody for watching episode 3 of Jezebels. I hope you learned something today. If not, I hope that you at least had a good chuckle at a couple of things we had to say. Please make sure to go support SabSquab on Twitch. Much to their dismay, they are an amazing streamer, and I hope that they find much success.
Please.
And yeah, I will make sure that they are linked in the description of this video, so please go give them some love. Sab, I appreciate you coming on the show even though you're feeling a bit under the weather. I appreciate you sticking it out with us.
Yes,
Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Of course, and anytime you want to come on the podcast, you're more than free to. Please, you are amazing to have. You're amazing to host. So please, you are an open guest. Anytime you want to talk about Deadlock with us, please feel free to contact us and come on the show. We'd love to have you back. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for episode 3 of Jezebels. We hope to see you soon. If I can just get a bye from everyone on go on 3, 2, 1, go. Bye.
Bye. Bye. I got the last bye.